All right. Good afternoon, Who That Nation. Welcome to the WDN Chatline podcast. It's the host CB. And today I'm gonna be doing the preview show myself. Shout out to my two co-hosts, WD and the MOD SaintsUptown. They couldn't be with me this afternoon. But it's all good. And shout out to everybody that's tuning in right now. I see you guys tuning in. So let's just go ahead and get to the comment section. I see the OG Jerry Poor in the building. Shout out to you, Jerry. I see Travis 504 said, "Who that everybody?" I see Brandon McGowan said, "Yo, yo, yo." And I'm gonna keep highlighting comments as they come in. But apologize for the late notice on the time of the show and stuff. I was supposed to go live last night, but some things came up. But it's all good. We're back here and we getting you guys a preview show. But today we're gonna break down the matchup against the Falcons. And really, that's not going to be the focus of today's show. It's a few topics that I want to hit on, and then we can chirp on that. But first off, let's just um, let's just go ahead and get to how CB is feeling about the Saints in the season. I've come to grips that you know the season is over, as far as us having a shot at the playoffs, and I'm glad we're at that point. I didn't want the team to get in the postseason, not by seeing some of these performances, especially on the offensive side. It was disgusting to see with all the talent we had. Like I said, Mike Thomas went out, but we still had pieces. Jarvis was out for a little bit of time, but he was still here the past few weeks. So we had guys out there to be able to get the job done, not hanging donuts on the board, getting in the red zone, struggling to score, etc. But yeah, man, it was just tough to see. We had a talented squad going in. Like I said, even with some of the guys getting down, we still had enough to compete this season. And when you look at the division, that's what makes it even worse. We definitely could have took sole advantage of this division. We could have ran away with it fast. And these injuries, with some of the key guys that suffered this year, it wouldn't have been a big of an issue. We wouldn't have had to rely on these guys to get back in order for us to compete. Even for an example, a guy like Pete Warner. Pete Warner went down. Caden Ellis stepped in, showed up tremendously. So we really wasn't missing Pete. We was missing Pete. He's been our best defensive player, but Caden Ellis made it look like we really didn't need him immediately. But shout out to Caden Ellis and everybody. But yes, that's just where I'm at. I'm glad I'm at peace, and low key, and which all of us, if we keeping it 100, we still low key kind of. It's like, well, we got a shot to get in, but now it's clearly out of reach. Far as on Tampa's end, I don't know how they gonna end their season. I don't know their remaining games, but I highly doubt they're going to lose the last three of their four ball games. If they lose two more, if they go 2-2, then they'll be 8-9. They'll be tied with us. They win the tiebreaker over us. So that automatically puts us out. Like I said, I don't think they about to lose the last three of their four ball games. So, like I said, the writing is on the wall. We're not getting in. And like I said, I'm honestly glad. It's a lot of stuff that they had to go to the drawing board with, and it starts with DA. Um, but like I said, I had a few questions that I wanted to chirp on, a few things that's been going over. It's been going on during the bye week, and one of the things is to find what Cam. Yeah, I definitely I wrote a few down, but I definitely didn't forgot to write that one down. But we can start with the season. Now we all know the majority of us think that Da is not the guy for the job. He's not the right guy for the job. But with that being said, we know it's a lot of guys on this team. They got a job to do. They're gonna go out fight. Um, so I had a question: Do y'all think we should tank or should we not tank? Now, as far as the New Orleans Saints, I highly doubt that players is going to tank. They're going to fight because they got a job to do. So like I said, I don't believe the team is going to go out and tank. Far as draft positioning, it would help us. It would help us be up towards the front, after round one. But far as the first round, that's really not going to help us at all. Especially, I said we'll get on that. We don't know what Sean is going to do, but that definitely won't help us out. In the draft picks in the first round, the second round on down, yeah, it could help us have a higher position. But like I said, these guys got a job to do. They got, some guys is upcoming free agents, like a Davenport. Davenport, I don't know what they're going to do with Davenport. He definitely didn't give us the season that we expected him to give us. He was very healthy this year. He missed a few games with the calf injury. Um, but he definitely didn't perform the way we thought he would perform. And it's a lot that it's other moves that could have been made, players retained if we was going to get this performance from Marcus Davenport. And I'm saying putting hands on the quarterback. These guys that's getting the big dollars is because they putting hands on the quarterback. We know, he's good at getting pressure and stuff, but we're in the league now where quarterbacks is far more mobile. You rarely got the pocket quarterback, that can't get out the pocket when getting pressure. So these, big time DNs like a Trey, Aaron Donald, guys like that that's getting paid big money, it's because they putting hands on the quarterback and bringing them down. But anyway, just say we win the remainder of these 4 games. I'm not sure if they gonna retain DA or not, but I think that would be a plus for DA, and they'll probably bring him back for another season. So, like I said, I don't think the team is going to tank. But as far as on DA's end, if we win the last 4, and I know we play the Eagles, but the Eagles, the way it's looking, even in their own division, they have a little cushion. Um, I don't forgot the Cowboys record. They either 10-3, 10-4, but then the Giants is I think 7 or something. So it's a few game cushion to where they don't have to be playing that far in the season, playing their starters. I see Jared Dennis I mean, absolutely he needs to, but it's just gonna all depend on um whether Mickey is he gonna be a buddy type of guy, or he gonna let the man go. Yeah, DA he definitely needs to go. But I'm just saying, if they win the last 4 games, could that be something Mickey looks at and keep them? I hope not, but we'll see what happens with that. But with that being said, another thing I want to hit on is Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram, he's officially on IR, so that's ending his season with the Saints, and more than likely that's ending his season, um, his career with the New Orleans Saints. I do want to say, man, that was a terrible way to go out on that play. I mean, obviously, it's obvious that he was hurt. We all wish he would have got that first down, kept moving. But it was also other factors that went into that ball game than just that situation. Even though that was a terrible situation, but all in all, I'm not gonna hold no bad blood towards Mark Ingram. Yes, he cost us, some plays this season. Even dating back to the first round with Tampa Bay, him getting that key fumble, making that key fumble, that was a huge turning point in that game. But just all in all, man, just Mark Ingram as a Saint, man. Want to thank him for his time with us. He had a lot of good moments with us. I'm not sure if he's still the leading Saints rusher. Yeah, I believe he is. Yes, he is, because he passed Deuce. He the Saints leading rusher, and it won't be long till AK reached that. But yeah, Mark done a lot of good things for us. As far as this season, it was way more issues than just Mark Ingram. That was the last thing. But just wish Mark Ingram the best. Now, some rumor mills that's been hitting up during the bye week is Sean Payton. Sean Payton. I don't know if Jeff Duncan, how true it was. A lot of people say Jeff Duncan, he'd be hitting and missing at times. I don't know. I don't know the man. So I just know he's a Saints reporter, Saints writer. He's part of the Saints media. And he reported that, he heard not within the Saints camp, but he heard from, some close people in Sean's camp that New Orleans is a possibility. That's something that he's interested in, possibly returning to the Saints. Now, I don't know how true that is. I will say Sean has made it known that Mickey is his best friend. He made that known, that Mickey is his best friend. So I don't know how that's going to turn out if Mickey brings Sean back. Honestly, the only thing I'll just be questioning is, how we gonna move forward with a quarterback. We won't be getting these draft picks. We won't be getting the first, in this upcoming draft. It's a lot of negatives that we won't be getting for us pertaining to the draft. Now, I don't know. I don't know what I really don't even want to buy into that stuff right now. And this is a topic that should be talked about this all season, but it just popped up, so I just wanted to chirp on it. But it's a lot of things that we won't receive. We won't be receiving all these draft picks and possibly a player because we seen what John Gruden, what he got. I mean, what the I don't forgot who traded for him, but excuse me, that trade the team got a lot for him. So just imagine Sean Payton, and Sean Payton has been more relevant than John Gruden. He's had his teams in position to win far more than John Gruden. So, we got to look at that and we'll see what happens with that. Okay, another thing I wanted to hit on was Mickey. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I seen a few people talking about fire Mickey, and I just wanted to ask the listeners: Do y'all think Mickey should be in consideration of getting fired? Me, honestly, hell no. I don't think Mickey. Like my only gripe with Mickey this season is the CD trade. The CD trade, that's my only gripe with Mickey Loomis this 2023 season. Now, I mean, I know a lot of players were saying, well, you got the coaching staff, they hire. Far as this DA hiring, it was more than, I mean, Sean was advocating for Miss Benson, Mickey. It was more than just Mickey Loomis. This was a whole coaching staff. Sean was even, pushing for him to become the next coach. And honestly, I know me is, I definitely was pushing for it because at that time we didn't know how things was going to pan out, and a lot of us Saints fans was pushing for Da as well. But I think TJ Jones, TJ from State of the Saints, he was the only guy kind of iffy with Da. Once we got him as the head coach, but other than that, it was a lot of us, include myself. I was on board with that. Because he didn't. That was before the season got kicked off. So I mean, I can't blame Mickey for that move. Like I said, this was a guy that was in the coaching staff. I mean, he knew the players and stuff like that. But yes, he did have a track record with the Raiders. I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt because this was it was over 10 years ago, and he even made it known in his introductory conference that, hey, this was 10 years ago. I've grown a lot since that first experience, head coaching the Raiders, and we is now saying that he hasn't grown one bit, especially in decision making and stuff like that. But I don't put that on Mickey. Like I said, I think that was a decent move, um, a good move to make with DA at that time. And far as the roster in general, I believe Mickey he set up this roster very well. We brought in some pieces. I just believe the coaches didn't do their job. But as far as Mickey as a GM, we was hella over cap space. We was like 80 mil over cap space. He was able to bring that down and bring it, down even more to possibly acquire Deshaun Watson. So Mickey done his job in the off season. He was at, hands and feet doing his job as a GM. He brought the guys here, and DA wasn't capable of getting the best out of these players. We had the talent this season, minus regardless of all the injuries, regardless of Lattimore going out, MT season ending, injury, regardless of all these injuries that's been occurring, we still had the team to at least be over 500, and that's at least be 9-8. That's the worst. We should have at least been 9-8, regardless of everything that happened this season. But it was just play calling, um, then the QB change, and just a lot more factors that went into the season. Him not being able to bring the best out of players. I don't know, what he be saying to the coaches. It was just a lot of stuff, that he didn't do as a coach. And yes, the players was, involved in that too. Players was making ball-headed decisions, but a lot of this was coaching. When you talking about penalties, we led the league in penalties. So, like I said, it was a lot of coaching mistakes. But let me read a few more comments before I go any further. Like I said, this is the preview show versus the Falcons. I'm gonna chirp on there. It's a few things that I just wanted to get off my chest. Like I said, there was a lot of things that happened during the bye week. Okay, let's see. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Shout out to Dolph, man. Shout out to Dolph. He the host of the Keep It Real Who That Sports podcast. Shout out to Dolph, man. Glad to have you. Let's see what else. He said we gave him the benefit of the doubt. Yes, beginning of the season when we got him on board. I know myself. I was excited. I thought he was gonna, be the next guy for us. But as time went, we found out that he definitely wasn't the guy for us. And he said we gave him the benefit of the doubt. Didn't want to hold his tenure in Oakland against him. Facts. But man, did we find out quick what Raider Nations warned us about? That's a fact, fam. We kind of overlooked it. And like I said, man, if you look at the timeline, you would think, it's one thing if he would have accepted the Raiders job 2 years ago or 3 years ago, but this is a little like at least 10 years ago when that happened. I think it was 2012 or something. It was something around that time, 2011, 2012, when he got the Raiders job. That's like right at 10 years. You would think you grow and develop. Okay, yeah, I had experience. I grew from that. And he was in the perfect position, but I mean, he just didn't capitalize off of, being behind a Hall of Fame coach. So we'll see, man. Another comment he said, but if Mickey and Mrs. B double down on DA coming back and he tried to name Dalton starter going into next season, there will be problems. Yeah, fam. I think if that situation happened, not only he coming back, but Dalton is still out there playing, that's just going to affect the fan attendance. So now, you starting to mess with, the money that's being generated. Let's just keep it hot. As far as this, the going to the dome and this loud stuff, that stuff, we got to get that back. We got to create that back, but that's not going to happen until we get somebody in here that's giving the fans hope of us winning ball games. And that home field advantage stuff, that's definitely out the window right now. We definitely done lost that. And it's highly understandable why. But yeah, if DA comes back next year and have Andy Dalton out there again, absolutely that's gonna affect fan attendance. And like I said, that's nothing against Andy. Andy is probably one of the best backups in the league. If you need him to come in and keep the game afloat and stuff, he's done that. He's had a few good games, but we're in a position where we're trying to find out who our next franchise QB is. Andy Dalton isn't that guy no more. He's a serviceable backup. Okay. I see a few more comments. Let me go ahead. Shout out to Inevitable Expertise. Let me read his comment. He said, I think that after this year, we got to get some of these bad contracts we have because that maybe make it easy to find a coach who is willing to come here, assuming DA is gone. I do agree with some of these contracts. I do know what Mike, I believe we're going to bring Mike back, but I do believe they're going to sit at the table and restructure. And I think he'll be on board with that because like I said, this is basically after week two. I mean, really, he gave us 2 games and he was out the whole season. So this is basically a whole nother season that Mike Thomas has been out. So I mean, you really can't debate that. I mean, even though it's his money, it's his deal. He got the decision to agree to restructure or not. But yeah, man, I think he'll be understanding of you know what's at stake and things like that. So yeah, I believe that he'll restructure his deal. I mean, as far as everybody else, I really don't know what the team is going to do. Do I think they need to throw a bit bag at Marcus Davenport? Not no bit bag. I mean, I wouldn't I wouldn't be opposed to him coming back, but as far as get one of these huge deals, I don't know, man. It was just a lot of potential we seen here and there. I'm talking about top five DN potential. But we just never got a full season of that from him. And if you can't provide a full season, you know, from a guy, why pay him the bid money like that? You know, I mean, it could be possible he go elsewhere and start, being more consistent, dominating. I mean, that's just the chance you take. But I do think we should try to bring him back, but not at no top DM money. I just like I said this season, he was supposed to be the driving force on the defensive line, not Cam Jordan. Davenport was supposed to be the best defensive end. I mean, we were supposed to start seeing that switch. But anyway, okay, one more topic, then we can chirp on this upcoming matchup. I seen rumors about AK. Um, some Saints fans saying that we should trade AK this offseason. I was even listening to WWL, and I believe I'm not gonna put words in nobody's mouth, but I believe I heard Bobby say that you know he don't believe AK will be in a Saints uniform next season. Now, me, I think that'll be a dumb decision trading AK away for what? Because of a bad season. We're really gonna trade AK away because of. I mean, it's really not even a bad season, but did he perform like to AK standards that we used to seeing? No, absolutely not. But let's not make no mistakes. Cam Jordan, the season before last season, he definitely wasn't performing at Cam standards, and we thought he was starting to fall off. But did they trade him? No, they didn't trade him. He came back and performed well. So, man, like I said, just because he didn't perform at the AK standards, And let's just keep it real. That wasn't, all on him. Like I said, we had offensive issues with star power on the offensive side. How can you have issues? You should be able to throw an Andy Dalton in there or an average QB, and we still out there eating. No problem offensively. But we having offensive stalls, and it stalled up front. You know, here and there, the O line was getting better at times and stuff like that. It wasn't as bad as it was at the beginning, but the offensive line. I think if anything, some of these bad contracts, I think it can start up front. Get one of these younger guys coming out of college and develop them. That's why I think it should start there. But yeah, as far as trading AK, I don't want that to happen. If somebody offer a first round pick for AK, I think they should entertain it as far as like just talking and seeing, but it depends, man. It at least got to be a first round for him. But that's it, man. That's it on that. I ain't gonna get no further. Like I said, a lot of this is, you know, stuff that's gonna be discussed in the off season. But I'm just giving, like I said, just giving my thoughts on the state of the Saints right now. Now that we know the season is over, I don't care what the mathematics say, man. It's over. The Bucks is not losing the last 3 out of 4 ball games. And Evans said, "I just want to know why Debo has regressed so much. It could be a little sophomore slump. Like I said, he had his rookie share, and then he, got on point. Could that ankle injury have been part of the problem? Slowed him down and never fully healed? Yeah, that could be the problem. But I'm not gonna excuse that. Yeah, he didn't have, a good season. Definitely haven't been a good season. I believe Alante has been playing better than he has, even though Alante missed some games. But I don't know where they're gonna move forward with that. Do they let Alante and Adebo compete? I believe it'll be a competition next training camp. But, let's see. The OG said this is the holiday season, so we have to take care of our guests like they do with us Saints fans. You're right, fam. I think I seen a 49er fan in here. Yeah, let's go 49ers. Hey man, y'all eating this year. I can't take that away from y'all, but y'all, I mean, that matchup against y'all, that was more on us than what y'all was doing, honestly, because we held y'all to 13 points. You hold the team to 13 points. What we got going on the offensive side, we had the personnel to at least score 13 points, but we didn't. But it is what it is. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up all the rumors and situations been going up. I will say, as far as that fine with Cam, the fine on Cam, the fine with Cam, I don't know if Cam can sue or not, but if he have an MRI, I think he was getting an MRI this week. If he really got like a little bruise or something like that, I would try to sue the league. But I don't think he can. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that's going, but I know he's going to appeal. He's going to appeal the fine, and hopefully he gets off. If he's going to have an MRI on it and there's something wrong, why is he getting fined for faking the injury? That doesn't even make sense. Like I said, Cam done been through a 7-9 season, multiple seasons. The 2014, 15, 16, he's been through the 7-9 seasons. Like, well, we've been out of the play. Like, come on, why would he fake an injury? But anyway, that's just that. I see. Shout out to IMMK2 said just heard Dennis Allen expected to return. You just heard that, so I guess we should be hearing that pretty soon. If that's the case, uh, I guess we just gotta deal with him being back. If that's true, I don't want him to come back, but if that's the case, it just is what it is. Shout out to Debo, the guy said this season they watch the rest of the season is to see who's worthy of salvaging. Facts. He says a lot of guys playing for, their families and stuff, trying to keep a job, so they're gonna go out there and perform. So I do think the team is gonna go out there and fight. And far as I do see that we did acquire and no Benjamin, I really hadn't watched him play like that. Um, but we'll see. I mean, that move was pretty much trying to scout and see what he's capable of doing. Some pretty good yards and yak yards he was averaging. I don't know how much PT he was getting down there with Houston, but I do know the Pierce guy. Um, that Pierce guy, he a dog, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm pretty sure he gonna get his opportunity since Mark went down. But let's just go ahead, man. I'm gonna trump on this game. Like I said, I'm a Saints fan. I'm gonna watch the remainder of the games. I'm gonna be rooting for the Saints. Like I said, if we had a first round pick going into this season, I'm talking about the first round pick being based off of how a season ended. I would kind of I never want us to lose, but I just said like this, I wouldn't be upset, if we won one or two of these last remaining four and put us in good draft position to try to get a QB. But all I know QBs, at least coming out of college, is Caleb Williams, and he's going to be playing another season there. So, do you bring back? I don't know what's the deal with James. Do you bring back another quarterback and then just try to go all in for him? I don't know. I don't know what they thinking, man. I don't know what they thinking. I don't know what's up. But like I said, a lot of what I've been saying is going to be all season discussion. I just wanted to, you know, express this, man. And as I'm doing this, I'm coming at peace, with myself, far as the Saints go. Instead of having, hope we still got a shot. I mean, low key, I was still, thinking that, but yeah, I heard about, I've heard about those guys. Like I said, we see what happens. And even if Sean returns and we get a first round pick, that's not gonna be. We're not gonna be in the. That's not gonna be a lottery first round pick like a top five pick. The Chargers, they still might get in the playoffs. They still got a shot at being over 500. So that's gonna put them in the high teens, probably about 19, 20, 21, around that range. So that really ain't saying too much as a first round pick unless you gonna use that first round pick and try to move up. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, that's just a lot of off-season discussion. But as far as this matchup Sunday, I'm gonna trump on this for a few minutes and then, you know, wrap the show up. This is an interesting comment. Tremont said, "Y'all think Bruce will be our interim head coach next season?" I just seen something pop up on my phone that said Breeze is joining Purdue's coaching staff as an interim assistant ahead of the Citrus Bowl. So he might be about to do something with Purdue. So I mean, I really don't know. I say I doubt it. I doubt it. Because Purdue, that's his alma mater. So he might be about to do something for. He said Drew was coaching for that one game, right? But that might open an opportunity for him, to get his foot in the door, during that off season. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Okay, but the matchup, we seen how the matchup played. The first round on the offensive side, we really wasn't getting nothing done offensively until the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, that's when we had an offensive explosion. Jameis went off. slinging it around the field. Brought us back to the ball game. Mike, that was a Mike and Jarvis game. Chris Olave done good as well, but Mike had them two receiving touchdowns that brought us back. Jarvis had that crazy catch, um, and we just came back. Will Lutz, that was a 57, 58-yard field goal, and that just brought us back to win the game. So by saying we had an offensive explosion in the fourth quarter, that's, I mean, yeah, the explosion was good, but we want to have an offensive explosion in the first quarter, not waiting all the way into the fourth. Um, Things happen other on the other side of the ball that allowed us to stay in the ball game, and make that comeback. But I do know, going into this game they won't have. Well, let me just keep offense and then I'll get on the other side. But yeah, man, pretty much offensively we just gotta start off faster this go around. We can't wait until the fourth quarter to explode. Um, Chris Olave, AJ Terrell will be on Chris Olave. Um, Going into the season, there was a lot of talk about AJ Terrell being like a top five cornerback. Mike was eating on him that whole afternoon. But yeah, Chris Olave, we're gonna need him to get off. We're gonna need Rashid to get off. I'm glad they got Rashid incorporated in the offense. Rashid is going to be somebody that definitely is going to be in the full going into next season. For some reason, I thought Deontay Hardy was on that 6 week IR, but I guess he done for the season. I guess he was on the IR in his season. I don't know, but anyway, Rashid has been doing very well on special teams. Um, so yeah, I'm glad they're utilizing him. He's going to be a factor in this game that we didn't have in week one. As far as the running back, um, it was a lot of pressure getting put on Jameis on week one. The offensive line has gotten better since week one, so I believe the line is going to do a better job. They have to do a better job of protecting the quarterback. Um, Andy, he makes some sound decisions. You know, he's not making boneheaded decisions every single pass. So I think the offensive side, we should be getting a more effective offense of this game from the start, not waiting until the last minute. But that's pretty much it. As far as the injuries, like I said, I mentioned Mark earlier. Mark is gone. On the offensive line, I believe we could be getting McCoy back this week. If we do, that'll be a huge plus. Um, and we pretty much have everybody on the offensive line. Our receivers, everybody should be playing this week. Um, so yeah, pretty much. I mean, the game plan. You just got to start faster. Start in the first quarter. Not really. It was their defense was blitzing the quarterback, and Jameis had a lot of pressure on him. Throughout the ball game, and then during the fourth quarter, it kind of eased up, and he was able to bring the offense back to life. Okay, Debo said we got to run the ball. Period. If we can't run, we won't win. That's a fact, fam. Because they gonna bring that blitz again. They gonna bring the blitz again. Yeah, Jerry. Yeah, that's what we signed. That's the guy we're just talking about. He like I said, I don't know too much about him. I did see something where he had some good yards per carry and some good yards at the catch out the backfield. So I mean, it's pretty much just a scouting move to see if it's something in Benjamin that they could have moving forward past this season. So Debo said we did. He was the little small back that ran all over us from the Cardinals. Oh, see, I had no idea that's who that was. Okay, okay. Well, if that's him, then okay, we might have a little something. like I said, this is opportunity for them to scout, and if he was running on, yeah, if he acting like that, yeah, bring him back. That'll be a serviceable backup to AK. So hopefully he performs well. Like I said, these last 4 games is going to be a lot of scouting and evaluation going on. But that's it on the offensive side. Defensive side, we had some takeaways. The first game, Pete Warner was the standout that game. As far as the injury report, Pete Pete was limited yesterday. Pete was limited. Let me pull it up right. I got it right here. I know Pete Warner was limited. Marshawn was limited with his ankle. I mean not with his ankle, his abs. I do believe we will see Marshawn this week. Um, like I said, I don't know if the guys are going to be playing for DA or not. I don't know how guys really feel about DA. Really hadn't heard no locker room type of turmoil or anybody saying anything about DA. I know Jameis is really not. I well, I personally believe I don't think he's a big fan no more of DA after what went on. But as far as with everybody else, I really don't know. I just know we've seen things like players having to step up and approach the team. That pretty much tells us everything about DA. Scared to approach the team. They gave you the keys to talk to the guys, talk to the team. We having other guys have to step up and say something. That just pissed me off thinking about that. I don't. Somebody had mentioned LMM K2 had mentioned earlier. Shout out to you. He mentioned that he seen something about DA is expected back next season. So if that's the case, I mean, we're just gonna have to. It's just kind of it is what it is. We don't agree with it, but I mean, I kind of felt that they was gonna get him more than one season. That's what I felt. But the thing about it that why I believe he should be gone at this season is because the type of talent that was around the team. We had a Super Bowl talented team. When you just looking at the names, of course you got to go out and perform. But it ain't like the majority of these guys that's out there has already been playing together anyway. Defensively, all these guys have been playing. Maybe in the backfield, the safeties, yeah, that was something new. That had to get itself together. Especially Tyron had his fresh shares of his fresh shares of struggling. And then he started getting better as time went on. Marcus may have been hurt, but you seen that Buck game, he had a solid game. But other than that, the rest of the defense, I mean, the pieces, everybody been playing with each other. The offensive side, everybody's been playing with each other, minus Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave. But Olave stepped in and performed very well. So I mean, like I said, it ain't like we just put a whole roster together. Just like everybody don't know each other. And then at that, you got a head coach that everybody's familiar with. 90% of the team is familiar with this man. Like I said, that just he just don't have what it takes to be a head coach. And it's just more on his responsibility. He can't he don't know how to handle all the responsibilities. He know how to handle one specific area, which is the defense. He was exceptional with that. The Tyron Matthews and Jarvis project was a fail. Let them go. We see what they do. I mean, far as with Jarvis, I mean he was hurt the majority of the season, so I ain't gonna put that he actually wasn't doing anything. I mean he had a high ankle sprain. He's been out this whole time, but I mean, far as Tyron, I don't know what they thinking with him. I mean, we do know he's not that elite safety no more. I mean, that's pretty much out there. I think we understand that, but I don't I, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna let Tyron go. I know they're not letting. Well, Jarvis is he was on a 1 year deal anyway, so he'll be a free agent. Do they go back to Jarvis? I believe they should. I believe they should. I mean, you got Mike. You really don't know if Mike is going to give you a full healthy season at this point. So yeah, it'd be smart to bring Jarvis back. On another 1 year deal, little vet minimum deal, just for depth purposes. Or do they plan on inserting Rashid in the you know, because that Rashid, that's a young guy, young. I think he 2021. So we'll see. Okay, but yeah, back to the defensive side. The defense isn't going to be dealing with Marcus Mariota, so that's a great thing. Marcus Mariota, that read option stuff, they're not going to have to deal with that. As far as the Dennis Ritter, I don't know what's going to be expected, coming from him. So I don't know. This it's gonna be our first time seeing him. I don't know what to expect. Honestly, me thinking back, I didn't see. Like I said, I hadn't seen much of Ritter in his college play, but I don't think he was doing a lot of read option. I may be wrong. Okay, yeah, I was wrong somewhat because Debo just said Ritter's a scrambler. Okay, hadn't seen too much tape on him, so I really don't know. But if he's a scrambler, then they're going to be, sticking with the read option type of offense. Read option type of offense. We struggled with that against them the last go round. Debo said he can run and play action and action. Well, run and play action. I seen him out of college. Okay, fam. So we pretty much know what we dealing with right there. Same type of offense they was doing with Mariota. We're gonna be getting the same similar thing with Dennis Ritter. So that's that on that. Um, Cal Pitts. I'm not going. Like I said, I hadn't been really watching him, but I really hadn't been hearing too much about him. As far as playing well, real well. But I know against us, he really didn't. He really didn't do anything like that. So we'll see. Calvin Ridley isn't there no longer. So like I said, I mean the defensive side, we should. Other than that play action, I think that's what caught us off guard, allowed them to have a solid run game and get some things off. But other than that, man, if we can contain that, man, I think we got a chance to win this ball game. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, in the division games, when we know what they're going to do. Really, nothing different to really chirple back. We already know just the things we didn't do the first game. Let's apply this game. Like I said, like a faster start offensively. We got to start faster. This ball game, have to defensively. We gotta contain the play action more. Those were the things that was hurting us. We gotta stop the silly penalties. This is something that's been biting us all season. You would have think by now, and this is a more veteran like team. It's not a lot of rookies on this team at all, but we're still having those type of issues. That blows my mind. But like I said, that's just where we're at, and that's just pretty much it. Like I said, that'll wrap up the preview show today, man. Definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let me read a few more comments and then we can wrap this thing up. Um, Brandon McGowan said we getting set back bad with this garbage of a so-called coach. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I believe. I mean, just start with Jameis. Just start with the Jameis experience. And like I said, shout out to Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton been giving us some solid play. But I'm just saying, if the whole game plan was to evaluate Jameis when he's ready to play, if he got hurt, if he's ready to play, the man said he's ready to play. He just waiting on his number to be called. If that's the case, then let him be the guy and evaluate him. Now, I'm not sitting here saying if Jameis was out there this season to be different. I'm not gonna say that because that ain't gonna stop them penalties and all that silly crap we was doing. But you never know. It could have been more positive. I mean, I don't know, but I know the offense would have been more explosive. No far as would it be risk involved? I don't know. The offensive line got better. I will say that those first two games, man, he was getting tremendous pressure. The line wasn't playing well at all. Debo said our fans need to start cheering Jameis or chanting Jameis' name while Dalton is having these trash drives and going 3rd and 15. I mean, it kind of. I mean, at this point, he probably won't be out there this season, but that's just one of the things. Like I said, with this roster we had, honestly, it really didn't matter which QB was out there. Like I said, Andy ain't been playing bad, but my thing is we don't know who our QB is going to be moving forward. It's not going to be Andy. I'm talking about long term. That's my thing with this QB thing. Andy Andy not hurting this, in my opinion, he not hurting this offense. It's been like I said, these penalties and stuff. Now, I do know Jameis could, make the offense more explosive, but is there a risk involved with possible turnovers? I don't know if that's, if he's been past that yet. I did, yeah. Now that Tampa game, he said he was playing hurt, so yeah, that definitely wasn't a good look as far as whether he done got over them turnover issues or not. But anyway, man, I'm about to wrap this up. I see Jerry said TJ Jones coming up in a few minutes. Yeah, shout out to TJ, man. Y'all make sure to tune in on that side. But I just think Jameis should have got a full season evaluation whenever he was healthy to play, just so we know and it ain't no question marks. Get a man a full season, whenever he's ready to play, and so we can fully be like, okay, this man is it, or he ain't it. We do we. I mean, that's just kind of what we do, man. I mean, what should have been done. But anyway, man, that wraps up today's show, man. Shout out to my two co-hosts. Like I said, they couldn't be on this afternoon. This the only free time I had, man. So I had to get on here, give you guys something, man. Shout out to the whole team. Like I said, Uptown MOD. Um, Make sure you guys please like, subscribe, and follow the page, man. Once again, we're not in the playoffs, but we still got to support our Saints, man. We got to go out hoping they win. And that's that. As far as the post game show, I'm not sure when the post game show will be, but it'll either be Sunday night or Monday. Most likely Monday. Like I said, y'all like, subscribe, follow the page. Going to be getting a lot of things together to help have some content for the page, along with my two co-hosts. It's going to be a lot of stuff coming up, especially as the off-season arrives. We got 4 more weeks coming, so we're going to start putting content together. As far as the Madden thing, I will say this: the Madden is a no-go for the rest of the season. Like I said, I'm just ready to get the season over with and get to the off season. Let's get to the off season. Like I said, but yeah, it's no more man this season. It will get back started in the 2023 preseason, and we'll go forward from there. Other than that, WDN Chatline podcast. We're out. Who that?